What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, now, I posted a photo in the community section of the channel, and it's basically a response from Usyk to Tyson Fury. Now, you can clearly see on the photo, it's dated like February 23rd or something like that. Okay. Last year. Listen. No, of this year. Of this year. Not last year, of this year. But bottom line, that wasn't the recent tweet. The purpose of me showing it is because it's receipts. Because when I say something, I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. Like I said, if we get false news and we report news, it's not like we're there to know what's true. We're just giving the news. This is basically the tweet that I'm not the only one. Come to find out, I'm not even the only one that retweeted it, okay? Or reposted it. Basically what happened is Fury was just running his mouth, made the comment, these guys are all bums, and I'll knock them all spark out. They're all afraid of the Gypsy King. That's what he was saying. Shit like that. So, somewhere in an interview, he accuses Alexander Usyk for ducking. He doesn't want to fight him. Nobody wants to fight him. They're all scared of him, all this bullshit. Okay. So, this is where Fury's manager or whatever, Usyk's manager or whatever responds, like, you know, hey, yo, bro, next time you accuse somebody of, you know, ducking, telling him that, you know, check his people in the DMs and all this shit, right? So, basically, there was never any negotiations between Fury and Usyk. I've been covering this shit for a minute, okay? There was never any negotiations. Now, you saw Usyk in a photo with Tyson Fury, and they're smiling, talking to each other. Now, if I sit here right now and say, I want to fight Anthony Joshua around March 25th, is that a negotiation, or is that just me saying I want to fight Anthony Joshua March 25th? Did my people contact his people? No. Did his people contact my people? No. Did we have any term sheets or contracts sent out? No. Then how is that negotiations? Okay, you got to understand the difference. Even somebody saying, I want to fight this guy. Oh, he's calling him out. But then the person saying they want to fight someone knows damn well that they're not in a position at that point. They may have a fight coming up soon, or that person has a fight coming up, but they're saying they want to fight that person. People like to talk and draw attention to themselves. They're trying to market themselves. They're trying to get that attention and get these thoughts in people's head. Oh, him versus him, that'd be a good fighter. And look at how many fights we're still waiting for it to happen, right? So there was never any negotiations, no contract signed. In fact, there was no contract sent even recently. Bob Arum himself says when he calls to speak to them, they was told him, look, don't rush us. We'll make the fight happen early, okay? Early 2023. You never heard Usyk's side say a date or a month. They just said early 2023. Bob Arum repeated. It came from his mouth. So he says, so basically, when you're hearing dates, the bottom line of that is dates that you're hearing, aside from AJ and Hearn saying that they wanted to fight in December and then again in March. And then you got some loudmouth in the comment section. Oh, see, AJ the one who said November. Now this guy going to change and say December. No, he never said November. Which is why I said, go watch the post conference of AJ versus Usyk 2. Listen to when Eddie Hearn clearly says, yeah, we want to stay busy. We want to get back in the ring by December and then again in March. He didn't say November. I don't know what you guys hear, but I can play the video for you and you hear it yourself and you still, yeah, but what? I'm not here to win arguments, okay? I'm just giving the boxing news. You guys hold on to shit, and when you realize that you're wrong, you can't just let it go. You just got to try to find fault in something. But like I tell you guys, I don't wake up next to Anthony Joshua. I don't hang out with Anthony Joshua. I don't hang out with Roy Jones. I don't hang out with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. I don't know what the fuck these guys are doing. I give you the boxing news. Now, Anthony Joshua wanted to fight December. Okay, that from the day when that was their plan. Fury wasn't even in the cards. Okay? Let's look at the timetable. Common sense. When Anthony Joshua and Fury was supposed, when it was rumored they were going to fight for Undisputed, well, we know Team AJ was the ones trying to make it all happen. And like they said, we're going to let them do everything and promote the fight and all this and this. And then he turns around and says he's not fighting anybody unless he gets a boatload of money. We all remember that. Okay? Usyk, in the meantime, what did he do? He fought Witherspoon. He fought Derek Chisora. And then he became Anthony Joshua's mandatory. All right? This is when AJ got upset with Fury because he had everybody thinking that the fight was on. Got a letter today. Got some good news. The Gypsy King and Anthony Joshua was going to get it on and all that bullshit. Just for the very next day, nope, you're fighting Wilder. And he's in arbitration with Wilder, so he knew there was a possibility that the fight wouldn't happen. So instead of him even just saying, look, right now, I'm going through the arbitration or a legal situation that I don't care to speak on. And then depending on what happens, okay, will determine what I do. Now, let's remember, he was not forced into fighting Wilder. He chose to fight Wilder. It was either pay him X amount, whatever the amount that they chose, that Wilder wanted to step aside, okay, or fight Anthony Joshua. He said, I ain't paying him nothing. Okay, you took the fight. Fine, great. But the negotiations that you were in was with AJ, not Usyk. And Usyk was Anthony Joshua's mandatory. So you fight Deontay Wilder. Meanwhile, the fight happens between Anthony Joshua and Usyk. AJ loses. There was still no negotiations between Usyk and Fury. There was just talks about maybe AJ should step aside so we can get Undisputed between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. There was no negotiations, people. None. Now, Tyson Fury claims he's retired. So what, you retire and say, okay, let's negotiate. Since I retired, let's negotiate. He was retired, right? I'll play you a video where the guys are saying, well, Fury, you must want to fight this guy. Well, actually, no. I have no interest in fighting the guy. He's a middleweight. He's a foreigner. No one knows his name. This is it. So where was all these negotiations? Okay? Sending term sheets and contracts and making effort to, hey, look, we want to make this fight. Okay, let's make the negotiations. What Wilder and Finkel did to AJ wasn't negotiations. Okay, we're going to send a contract, $50 million. Take it or leave it. You got 48 hours or whatever it was. Okay, you got my attention. Let's talk. No details, no meeting. Take it or leave it. That's not negotiations. That's bullshit. And if it was shoe on the other foot, do you think that Hearn and Anthony Joshua would have did that same thing, that Wilder would have took it? Absolutely not. And you want to know how? Well, it's common sense, but I can also tell you how I know for a fact he wouldn't have took it. Because the zone guaranteed him $120 million. $120 million. $20 million to fight Dominic Brazil. $50 million to fight AJ twice. That would have been $50 million, $120 million. He turns it down and says the reason he didn't take it is because they wouldn't tell him how much Anthony Joshua was making. Y'all remember that? Okay, so with all of this going on, that was way before. But going up, what I'm saying, how many times was Usyk's name coming up? He was a fucking cruiserweight at that point. So how many times did you hear Usyk's name come up in the same sentence with Tyson Fury? Use your head, people. He never had any negotiations. So now, the video where Tyson Fury is sitting in the car and he says to Anthony Joshua, you have until today to sign, and if you don't, the fight's off, and okay, that was not a tweet from back in the day. This is what people are getting confused. That tweet was a direct response to that video. And he told him, great way to duck Usyk. offer Anthony Joshua and everybody else deals, but ignore Usyk. So that means, you remember the video, and I played it, where Usyk says, Tyson, Fury, end the ring, please. There was no response. Now, when he does respond, and it's a phone call, not from Fury, but from Arum, what did I just tell you? Arum said, and I posted it. Arum said, they're telling him, look, don't rush us. We'll make the fight happen. There's no way I can fight in December, man. I have injuries that's going to take several months to heal. So early November. And he even said that they said, take your time. We got time. We'll make it happen. Early 2023. That's what he said, early 2023. The only person throwing dates around is Fury. The dates that AJ and Hearn said had nothing to do with Fury. It was what they planned. In fact, AJ is supposed to be going on like a tour of China. And some guy named Zhilei Zhang that he's supposed to be fighting, that possibly a couple of names came up. So this was a refining, rebuilding of Anthony Joshua. And Fury wanted to throw a monkey wrench in that to throw him out. And then, oh, he's just being magnanimous, trying to give him a road back. No, stop it. There's nobody else he could fight that he's going to get that kind of payday anyway. Now, in terms of Fury, Manuel Charr name has came up. Derek Chisora's name has came up as a possible fight for December 15th. But now, since Queen Elizabeth II died, everything is postponed, like pushed back. So we don't know what's going to happen. Now, when I tell you guys simple things like, look, you never know what can happen. So when you take the chance, it's like, you know something is supposed to take place. You have to understand, it would not be wise for me to go out here and fight right now. If I really want this fight with Usyk, I could go in there and break my hand, go in there, tear my ACL, my Achilles tendon for something where now the fight's postponed. So doesn't it defeat the purpose? Okay, so to not have the patience and say, you know what, December 17th it is. Right? Simple. So now, because of Queen Elizabeth II passing, we don't know when negotiations will pick back up. But it goes to show you, if you can have this kind of patience now, because it's the reason, okay, it's a reason, and you don't want to like an asshole and keep pressing for a fight knowing that nothing's going on. All sporting events, everything has been stopped. I think they said for like 10 days or something like that. So we don't know for sure when negotiations will pick back up. But this is what I'm talking about. Fury's the one trying to press for the date. You all said it yourself. Yeah, he has the power. He's trying to make it, no, he's not as powerful as you guys think, but that's what it is. He feels like he's the A side, so he can dictate everything. So Usyk's supposed to come back while he's still injured and try to fight an earlier date because Fury says so? I think not. Anthony Joshua, anybody else? Anthony Joshua can go and tour and fight and go fight Pee Wee Herman, and people still is going to come watch him, and he's going to make a massive payday regardless. He doesn't need an elite dance partner in order to get paid big money. Fury does. Okay? Fury's in a position of, look, I'm going to give you the 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to give you the 5. Okay, count the 5. Okay, this is your last chance. I'm going to give you the 10. You don't answer. Okay, I'm going to give you the 2. That's what he's doing. Simple. All right? Nobody cares about no damn Fury versus Manuel Charr. Nobody cares about Fury versus Derek Chisora. Okay? Zhilei Zhang versus Anthony Joshua. These are fights to refine him, to retune him, to rebuild him. This is what I'm saying. That's what that is. These are going to be fights that he have if he goes through with it, and he should. He doesn't, you guys make it sound like Anthony Joshua's broke or something. No. It's bottom line. Any fighter needs what? An opponent. Or who you going to fight? It's simple. So it doesn't matter if you fight Derek Chisora in the O2 Arena or Manuel Charr in the O2 Arena. It doesn't make a difference. It's still not going to get the same hype, not nearly, as if it was AJ. At the end of the day, y'all, I'm all about holding people accountable for their actions. Okay, I'm not talking about somebody make a mistake and say something, or they thought something. No, I'm talking when you say and do things knowing you have a different motive for what you're actually saying. So that's my whole thing. For somebody to say that one guy is ducking too, and then yet you out of your own mouth says, I'm really not interested to fight this guy. I never would. Okay, but your fans repeat everything you say and believe everything you say. So I just find it kind of funny how Manuel Char and their names came up. I mentioned that already. I mentioned Jasor. I didn't mention Manuel Char, but his name came up, and they already said that they were looking for possible replacements for Tyson Fury. But again, you can't say nothing about and that comment about him ducking was back then. And that's what Usyk responded when he said, I never ducked nobody. He said, I'll fight. I can fight Fury tonight, bare knuckle. And he said, I even went to Russia, to fight a guy. So bottom line, that's just Fury running his mouth. So just for the record, Aries didn't get anything mixed up or twisted up. It's the people listening that you don't understand what someone is saying. And then you're so defensive trying to make a point that you like, are you listening to yourself? There was never any negotiations. And like I said, I challenge any of you that's talking, go pull up a video or a tweet. Okay? Go pull up either one of Fury or anybody on his team saying, we are in negotiations with Team Usyk right now. We've sent contracts and we've sent term sheets. Because unless that happened, no. Other than a phone call and just conversation, you're trying to reach a common ground. Is there interest in the fight? The negotiations start after that. As I said, me sitting here saying I want to fight Anthony Joshua March 25th, in the O2 Arena, that's not negotiation. That's me telling you what I want to fucking do. Now, if I actually follow up on that and then my team talks to his team and that type of shit, that's what negotiations is. Not somebody saying, you're a bum, you're scared of me, these guys don't want to fight, I'll fight this guy, I'll do this, and all this nonsense. I mean, you heard Fury say he was willing to fight Anthony Joshua, in the UK for free, which we know that's bullshit. And we heard him sit there, I ain't fighting nobody until I get a boatload of money, right? Okay. So did he not sit there and not contradict himself? He completely lied. Okay, so that was the purpose of me showing those clips in there in the last video so you guys can see. Listen at what he's saying. Listen at what Bob Arum is saying. Look at what the tweets are saying. And look at what he's saying now versus what he was saying then. So even the point of, he made that video on the 24th, the fight was the 23rd, which meant that was the day after. So if the day after, you guys remember, right? August was just last month. So for him he's not interested in fighting him, then all of a sudden now he wants to fight. Well, yeah. And you want to give people, try to push them, rush them to fight sooner than later. And you have people saying, I don't blame them. Why not try? Because that's not the way of a warrior. That's not the way of a fucking warrior. So all this, I'm a Spartan and the Gypsy King, this, okay, well then man the fuck up and stop trying to give people like less time than what they actually need. You're not losing shit. You're not losing anything. So if you feel like those extra couple of weeks is not important, then okay, why is it so important to you then? It's just the power. It's just the power game. I want to show that, no, man, you're not nearly as powerful as you're trying to make people think you are. And at the end of the day, even saying I'm giving Usyk an opportunity, well, he's giving you opportunity too. He's not coming to the game beltless. He has 3, you have 1. You both are giving each other an opportunity. But of course, the ego make people say things like that. I'm giving him an opportunity. So anyway, that's how that goes. And if Anthony Joshua and him work it out, and it does happen December 17th, so be it. But what if it happens after December? Here's the thing too, let me say. Even if him and Anthony Joshua fought in fucking February, that's not going to harm Undisputed. Because that's what Usyk wants. And there's nobody else that Usyk could fight to become undisputed other than Tyson Fury, or if AJ was to beat him or however, whoever hold that WBC. Usyk is not going to say, oh, well, since you fighting AJ, I'm going to fight somebody else, or I'm going to not fight. Look, the guy is coming off of a fight, letting injuries heal. Usyk is not going, Usyk wants to fight. So when he's saying, I don't want to jeopardize the fight, how are you jeopardizing it? He's saying he'll be ready to go and said, take your time. So you're trying to make it seem like there's a deadline. Like, if I don't do it, then the fight's on. No, you're the one throwing dates out. You haven't heard one date from Usyk or his team. You just heard, even from Bob Arum, they said we'll be ready early 2023. So how is there a deadline where, oh, if I don't fight? No, this is Fury saying this. Haven't I said this to y'all? Video after video. Why is it such an issue with these dates? Why is everything, we got to have a fight by this time, by that? No, that's your timetable. But at the same time, you're not in negotiations with people other than AJ. And he's already told you he'll be ready December 17th. So all of this trying to rush is simply trying to catch someone off their square so they're not fully prepared. You look good, smashing them to bits. They're going to compare your performance to Usyk's, and then it's like, okay, you're trying to get your stock to go. I know what you're trying to fucking do, man. I know this, and that's why you're trying to rush fucking Fury. I'm Usyk. But his people told you, hey, look, don't rush us. We'll make the fight. Take all the time you need. We'll be ready. We'll be ready, by early 2023. Simple. So because they do these things quarterly, this is Bob Arum them saying February or March. He's saying that. But even still, it's not going to jeopardize the fight. It's not going to jeopardize the fight at all. Unless Usyk, Fury winds up getting hurt or he loses. Or both. Where the fight's postponed. It's not going to jeopardize the fight it's not going to happen. No, it will postpone it, if anything. So, you got to listen to the words that people say. They try to throw things at you to make you feel like, what they're saying is factual and you focus on just what they're saying. But if you step back and just look at the whole scope, how are you jeopardizing the fight from not happening just because you fight Anthony Joshua? And if you feel like you're going to jeopardize the fight, then don't fight anybody. Just wait for Usyk. And if you want to stay busy, okay, then that's on you. But stop trying to rush people. Stop trying to get the advantage. You're the Gypsy King. You're a Spartan. You're all this. You can beat everybody. You'll fight people and twice on Sunday and all this shit. Okay, well then you don't need these advantages. Fall back, relax. Simple. Like Anthony Joshua told him, man, I don't do this, social media conversation. If you're really about it, he told him when he'll be ready. And told him, just calm. Simple. Now, you can't wait till December 17th. Well, until everything gets back on board, we don't know when things will pick back up, but it's still a delay, isn't it? So just a few days ago, you was over there talking about you have until today. And guess what? Now everything's postponed. Do you see how easy it is when you sit back and realize things are not nearly as serious as people try to make it seem? Just fall back and relax. Give people the proper amount of time, the same way you would want it. Just because you want people to think you're so powerful right now, like you can just dictate and control everything. Well, if you could, it would be different. Ain't no fucking body calling you, trying to offer you 500 fucking million. You the one calling, begging for shit. You the one trying to make more than what you deserve. Because you and your team are the ones who said you only make what you made in your last fight. So all of that is Team Fury stroking their fucking egos, all right, and blowing smoke up people's asses. Simple. It's not that deep. Let the fucking man train. Give him to December the 7th and make the fight on December 17th, like he said. Simple. Lose the ego. Make the fight happen if that's what you want. And if you truly as good as you say you are, think you are, and he's as bad as you think he is, then you should smash him with no problem, even if he's fully trained. You said you could beat fucking Usyk on a week's train, just with a week's training. So how are you going to jeopardize the fight? How? That means you could beat AJ, smash him, jump right back in there another 3 months from now, and then guess what? You and Usyk get it on. So just wanted to clear that up and make that known because, people say a whole lot of things and don't understand your point because they're short in the brains. They think you're the one missing the point because they are. No, you're the one missing the point. I meant everything I said and what I posted. I know what I posted. Why you think I posted it with the dates right on there? I know what I posted. People, man. Anyway, never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all in the next video.